China stocks are blasting to the upside faster than any other stocks in the entire market. We have Alibaba stock up 15%, JD up almost 8%, and many other China stocks blasting to the upside. We also have Elon Musk prepared to abandon the Twitter deal. So we also have more news with that. So in this video, we're going to talk about everything that's important that you need to know about in the stock market right now and some good plays heading into tomorrow. Stick with us. We're going to get right to the point. So Tom, let's get right into it.
Yeah, the SPY actually fell off today, but a few sectors really popped off, Mike. And like you said, those China stocks really exploded. So we've been seeing BABA actually pop up all week long, Mike. They actually gapped up Monday morning. And ever since that gap up, they just had 3 straight continuation days to the upside here. And today was obviously the most explosive, up 14%. You can see this awesome price action that happened intraday today. We really blasted up through 110 here and just kept rocketing up all the way up to 121. Mike, I do see some pretty big levels here coming up on Alibaba's chart. Whenever I look at it, if you go back, you can see that 120 to 125 is actually a pretty big area of resistance, and we're sitting there right now. But Mike, there's a lot of big data points here. Even big banks like JP Morgan are saying that they see buying opportunities in Alibaba, and they cited a whole bunch of different reasons here. Pretty much some of these analysts are saying that they could see that they're saying that a lot of Chinese equities have pretty much have reached their turning point here with the lockdowns and everything that's been going on. Also, some stuff's been going on where reports surfaced regarding China looking to end its year-long regulatory probe on Didi. And we've been talking about this all year long, how China just kept all these regulations going on with Didi and all these other stocks. And you can see how Didi on Monday really exploded up with that great news. And that's kind of what caused that gap up with BABA Monday morning too. But it's just awesome to see that even a big bank like JP Morgan, Mike, is talking about buying up a lot of the China stocks down here. To me, I think that regulation news is one of the biggest things there. But then there was also even news with a video game today where China came out and approved more games for Alibaba and Bilibili, which is just another app there. So that's big for China stocks. And it's just helping all those tech stocks over there. So like they're saying here, you have Alibaba up, JD up. And yeah, as we can see on the charts, Mike, it was getting very explosive.
There we go. So we even saw some Chinese stocks like Tencent, which is ticker symbol TCEHY, blast to the upside today. They popped by over 7.5%. They are just a giant, I guess you could say, tech/gaming company in China. They do a lot, but what's interesting is their games weren't even necessarily approved lately, yet their stock still popped by 7.5%. So either way, all these China stocks are finally coming back up, which is awesome to see. A lot of them have been significantly oversold over the past year, especially. Like Tom already mentioned, there was good news with the Chinese government kind of backing off the regulations and investigations with Didi, but we also have that good gaming news too. So awesome stuff.
Yeah, it is. That's awesome. And that gaming news is kind of hard to filter through, Mike. Like they're saying that there's a lot of different companies that, were approved. Like it says China approved a second batch of video games. We found that it was actually 60 games that they approved, but it is kind of hard to tell exactly which company's games were approved. And keep in mind, like you said, Mike, even Tencent, none of their games were approved, but they're still rising up. And in general, it's just always good to see China kind of getting off those regulations. And, it's really helping these stocks. Mike, I even noticed that some of these casino stocks like Wynn were actually flying up too with the news. So it even spilled over into some of those casino stocks.
Exactly. So Wynn and LVS also blasted to the upside because both of these companies actually have exposure in China. So I'm really glad you brought that up because I feel like these two stocks, Wynn and LVS, have been under the radar lately.
Yeah, they have. I mean, look at LVS. It's been bouncing down here around this $35 support. It's been really low over the past couple of years. WYNN has been continually falling off and making new lows recently. So it'll be nice to see these ones start to come back. And Mike, talking about stocks coming back today, We had DraftKings up 10% actually. They had some pretty good news of their own this morning, but they ran up to 1466 here, started consolidating. I feel like this one could be a pretty good play for tomorrow, Mike. And I know even like Roku was up a lot today, too, with pretty good news in the morning. So some stocks were up, but that market today was really turning over. We saw Apple and a few other stocks actually close red, unfortunately. So very mixed day in the market, but we did see some of those sectors really pop.
Yep. So Tom, tell us more about this Twitter and Elon situation.
Yeah, so Twitter actually closed green. We can see there was a lot of volume that came in the middle of the day today. So there is a few different data points here that I want to hit on with the Twitter deal right now. So pretty much the big news today is that Twitter plans to have a shareholder vote either in early August or late July, as it's highlighted right here in the CNBC article. But at the same time, on Monday, Musk lawyers actually warned Twitter officially that he might walk away from the acquisition if the company fails to provide the data that he's seeking on spam and fake accounts. Now, Twitter did say that they're continuing to share information with Elon, of course. Part of that data is the fire hose, as they're calling it, which is just a set of comprising tweets. Pretty much this is a whole bunch of different parameters and stuff that analyzes user profiles. And Twitter pretty much says they usually sell this type of information to companies, but they're actually giving it to Elon as like an information exchange in the deal. So it sounds good. Hopefully the deal ends up going through, but with Musk coming out and saying that he really might walk away, that does worry me, Mike. But I guess with Twitter planning the shareholder vote, it really did cause that volatility today. And Twitter did pop up quite big there for a little while, but it did end up coming down.
All righty, there we go. So Twitter stock is currently at $40.50. There's still quite a margin between the current price and the expected buyout price of $54.20. So, if you're very confident and you think that the Twitter deal will go through, Twitter stock's not at a bad level, but of course, there is that chance that the deal does not go through and the shares tank.
Yeah, and also Elon's been talking about possibly getting the deal repriced too, so that could always happen. But I would think it would be priced higher than $40 a share. But I guess whenever you look at spam accounts, if you think about it, who knows? 25% of this platform could be spam accounts. I've seen some crazy numbers that have been thrown around in some articles. Of course, nobody really knows the true number, but I've seen like anywhere from 5% to 25%. So it could be crazy if it was up there around 25%, Mike. That would be a lot of the users. And if you think about it, that might mean he might get to almost adjust the price by 25%.
Yeah, who knows, right? Crazy. But Tom, I know Facebook has been a pretty important stock over the past couple of years, but especially over the past year, considering how much it fell by. And what's going on with their new ticker change?
Yeah, so tomorrow morning, it seems like Facebook is now going to be opening up as Meta, ticker META. As we know, Meta actually took over as Facebook's parent company. Meta's been getting a lot into like the metaverse, of course, and they've been getting into virtual reality headsets such as like the Meta Quest and the Meta Quest 2, which used to be like the Oculus Quest. I guess you could almost call it the Oculus Quest. I guess it just depends on which website you buy it on. There's actually both websites are still working here for it. So believe it or not, but nonetheless, Facebook stock had a pretty good pop today, Mike, up above $200 a share, came right back down. There was a really nice alert at market close on my Thinkorswim that came up. It says that they're going to formally change their stock ticker symbol to Meta tomorrow, June 9th, 2022. They will begin canceling FB resting and working day orders at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time and GTC orders at 8:05 Eastern Time today. If you have any questions, please chat or call Thinkorswim's trade desk. So sounds interesting, Mike. It looks like tomorrow we will no longer be trading FB. We will be trading META. So that's going to be very interesting. And who knows, it might bring in some volatility.
Alrighty, there we go. And then Tom, in terms of action for the rest of the week, what do we have in terms of earnings and economic data?
Yeah, so earnings, pretty big day tomorrow. We're going to have NIO before the market opens. That's going to be huge considering all the big movement with the China stocks today. NIO is up around 3.7%. So they're going to be reporting. We have FCEL reporting. We even have Billy, Mike, which we talked about a little bit earlier with those video games in China there. So even they're reporting. But then also after close tomorrow, we have DocuSign and Stitch Fix. I think those are two pretty interesting companies. Obviously, Docu or DOCU is going to be my favorite one tomorrow. I think NIO is going to be interesting tomorrow before market open too. Like I said, they had a huge move up today with that China news.
There we go. And we definitely don't want to forget about that inflation reading we have Friday before market open. Basically, we have the core inflation rate coming out an hour before market open. Be on the lookout for that. It will probably move the markets. And then, Tom, let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have good old DraftKings to the upside.
Yeah, they were up a ton today. Go ahead and make them break that high of day there, right around 1466.
Right, and with the next one, we have SPCE also to the upside.
Yeah, Space had a great day. Make them break above 750. That's a pretty good even level there.
Right, and with the last one, we have AMD to the downside.
Yeah, unfortunately, AMD really tanked off. They almost hit $100 there. Go ahead and make them break below that low of day, right around $100.40. But I will say, be careful of $100 even. If you guys want to be extra safe, then just make it break below 100.
All right, so we are watching AMD for a potential day trade to the downside tomorrow, only if it breaks below the level Tom listed. And then we are watching SPCE and DraftKings for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the level Tom listed. But before we move on, I want to give a giant shout out to our member of the day, Brewdog85. Huge shout out to Brewdog. You've been in the chat for a couple years now and you're extremely active. So thank you so much for being in the chat. Tom and I really appreciate you. If you guys want to join the Stocked Up Discord, check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. It's awesome. You could chat with members all day long. We post free day trades in the morning, which just exploded today. The day trading channel is pretty crazy, and we can see the plays from today just exploded. They're free. I called out DraftKings very, very early on today before the market even opened, and the stock just exploded to the upside. So join up. It's free. It's awesome. You can trade with a bunch of people and chat with Tom and myself. But Tom, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, the market was crazy today. I will say a lot of stocks did very well despite the market being down. I will say there was some tech stocks that were down. We talked about AMD a lot. Also, we had Micron down today. I saw Run was down. So, it's not like we had a perfect day in the market, but we definitely had some stocks on the uptrend there. Like I said, Mike, DraftKings, Roku, there was a lot of great runners, and I hope that we can continue to see some pretty good breakout plays tomorrow. Even AMC was up today, believe it or not. So we might see some nice moves tomorrow. I'm really going to watch DraftKings, of course. That's my favorite, Mike, but lots of stocks are moving. Spotify is even another one that had a huge move intraday, almost up to 120 there. So it's been a pretty good week overall, Mike. I know the SPY has been pretty flat so far, but nonetheless, we've seen a lot of stocks move up. So hopefully we continue this nice trend into next week. That inflation data is going to be very important on Friday, and definitely watch tomorrow's video too, guys, because we're going to really hit on that inflation data tomorrow.
Awesome. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. And besides that, let's have a great end to the week.